Nigeria is at a point that everyone is interested in what is happening, who is saying what, and who is doing what. That brings us to our conversation this week on Top Talk. And I have joining me, I'm privileged to have Mr. Chris Agiri, who is a philosopher, a public affairs analyst, and reformist. He is popularly known as the Flag Man. It's nice to have you on the program.
Thank you very much. Popularly known as the Flag Man, the green, white, green Nigerian national flag.
Of course.
Thank you. Good afternoon, viewers.
Yes. You also have been described as a vexillologist.
Yeah, well, that word is always intrigues journalists a lot.
Of course.
Vexillology, a very interesting field of study, born out of interest. Vexillology can be defined simply as the historical and scientific study of flags and related items, related matters. We now talk about symbols. A flag is a symbol. You know, a symbol is an object with a double intentionality, dual meaning. If you look at it in a green, white, green national flag, I don't like discussing without a flag, please. So they should. So you look at, you can imagine where like 30 poles wearing Nigerian national flag is flying. You see the aura, the harmony. Do you understand me? The inspiration of both the color and as it's waving across the sky. That is the aesthetic aspect of it, how beautiful the flag is. Then the hidden meaning, what that flag stands for and what it represents. The flag is not just a piece of cloth. The flag itself is a creation of the law. In our own case, ours is governed by what we call Flag and Coat of Arms, Ordinance 48, of September 16th, 1960, when the House of Representatives in Lagos, prior to independence, passed the bill that gave birth to the act that regulates the usage, the protocol, the display, and the handling of Nigerian national flag. So that is it's already a creation of the law. It has life on its own. It has life on its own. That's on one hand. Another thing is what that flag symbolizes, what it represents. Simply put, the number one Nigerian national identity. The number one Nigerian national identity through which you are Nigeria as a sovereign entity and you as a Nigerian is identified in the Committee of Nations of the world. If you are present, if you go to the UN now, if you see Nigerian flag there, no Nigeria is present. The Olympic Games now, as you see Nigerian flag there, you know Nigeria is present. If you go on a conference overseas where everybody is making contributions, you as Nigerian representative, when it gets to your turn, they will not call you by your name. They will say, Nigeria, what do you have to say about this? That you identify by that national flag. It is that makes it a sacred civic symbol. The national flag is sacred, a sacred civic symbol. It is also been recorded that the national flag of any given nation is the strongest factor of inspiration to that citizen, to the sportsmen and women now. The dream of every Olympian, in France right now, in Paris, the dream of every Olympian is to come first in his or her competition, that the national flag of his or her country will be hoisted.
On the anthem.
And the anthem sang. So that is the high. That is why you see it's an emotional thing that you cannot control. You see tears rolling their eyes.
Do you see us flying the flag?
That's another one. The flag is already flying. The flag, Nigerian flag is already flying there.
Do you see us flying it on the podium?
Oh, well, in the last Olympics, surprisingly, we did. Our flag did fly. Why are we pessimistic about it flying this time? Forget the shabby arrangements that the people in the Ministry of Sports and all that are doing. God will bring everybody to charge. Individual Nigerians that are in Paris, I bet you, they will bring back honor and glory to this country. So the flag represents the glory of the country.
Okay, now that you've mentioned
It's called the glory of the country.
Yes, now that you've mentioned the shabby arrangements to Olympics, this is not the first time. I mean, we are always not ready, or rather we'll go slow. There's always something making it look as if we just wake up all of a sudden and we want to go to the global space and compete with everyone who has been preparing like forever.
Wow, you're raising this one now.
I would need to raise it.
Okay, because this is Olympics.
Yes.
I'm one of those that are passionate about sports, because it was sporting activities that made me popular when I was in secondary school.
Oh.
In my set that we got into Sunday school together, 1975, at the time we passed out, I was the only one that brought honor to the school, to the local government, by winning a medal in the first Imo State Sports Festival, February, 1977. So, having said that, Olympics, sports generally, entices me. I look forward to it as it's happening now. Unfortunately, our sports handlers, the Nigerian government, the Nigerian people, are yet to come to terms consciously that one of the greatest endowments that God gave to Nigeria is that spirit of sports and sportsmanhood. That is why in every field of sports, in every field of human endeavor, you see Nigerians making waves, even in their individual quest to survive, individual quest to bring honor to their fatherland. It's rather the handlers of their fatherland, Nigeria, that is disappointing Nigerians, disappointing Nigeria, and disappointing themselves. That is where, I mean, you look at what is in the air about the political space, everywhere being heated up, protest, no protest. But that's topic for another day. But the issue is this. I don't want to dwell on how badly prepared they are. They're already there. In my own case, I played football quite all right. I was also sprinting. I was doing 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters. I was a member of the relay team, 4x100 meters relay. I do long jump. All these my sports are individual things. The only one that is a team is both football and relay. But even in relay, as we have seen, records I've seen too. In my own case, when it gets to my leg, you can't beat me. When it gets to my leg to anchor, it's a sporting spirit. It's a good spirit. And if the enablers are put in place, I tell you the truth, Nigeria stands the chance of making 50 times foreign exchange as against what we are making in oil that is killing us. You know how much, imagine how much money footballers are being paid. And they are here in abundance. From Sokoto to Meduguri, to Badagry, to Arichuku, back to Lokoja, across the hooks and corners of Nigeria. Young men and women, naturally endowed. You know, Nigeria is a very unique space. This is why I weep for my country on what is going on. The largest black nation in the world, that God collectively endowed with men and women of human capital resource, gifted men, genius that you get in Nigeria. That's why you go to any university, any school, you see them coming tops. By the Spirit of God, that spirit of resilience, that Nigerian spirit, I pray it will fall on our sportsmen and women in Paris, and they shall bring back honor. And I'll be happy to see that flag, raised once again against the imagination of the enemies.
Do we have to always fall back to prayer? I'm asking this question because everybody is talking,
I don't want to go into that.
Everybody is talking about prayer.
No.
Now let's get there.
No, yes, of
let's
course,
get there.
Just to psych ourselves up.
Yes. When sports come, we will pray. When we're going for World Cup, we will pray. When economy is falling, we will pray. When security is happening, we will pray. Is prayer without action working for us?
Make you know, come be like say, I'm a philosopher. Make you know, be like say, they attack church or mosque.
No.
That's what it is. The fact is that if in the space of prayer, it was what we call methodic doubt in philosophy, I think phenomenology, in metaphysics. Do you understand me? Man as a being sometimes need a moment of self-conferencing, self-introspection, a moment of silence as a person, a moment you retire to yourself and tell yourself the truth, a moment you you reconcile yourself with your creator, the moment you reflect, it is permissible. And any human being that inculcates that, it's not necessarily a group thing. Yes, you can get to church as a congregation, not in worship, in honor, not in almost jamboree as you see. You get in a mosque. In fact, those days, both the churches and mosques, ordinarily from afar, you know, it's a solemn place. It's a solemn place. It's a sacred place. You are walking in your comportment. Those things. So prayer is not bad on its own. But what we're almost getting involved in political prayer. Everything is politicized, including prayer, including religious worship, both in the churches and the mosque. In the shrine. I'm talking as a philosopher. We're not saying that we do that, but then societies that are highly accultured. Look at China. Look at Japan.
Korea.
Yes, do you understand? Most of those, even India. Yeah. I studied the ancient Chinese philosophy. Do you understand me? The Confucian philosophy, which is what guides the Chinese. Do you understand me? The Hindu, the Buddhist, the other distance that are worshipped in Southeast Asia. The idea is that it helps to conduct them. In our own case now, what we have, irrespective of growing number of churches, growing number of mosques, irrespective of everything about religion, we're not seeing the commensurate impact in our conduct and behavior, in the way we live our lives. There are things that are of internal value. Social justice, when you're talking about justice, when you're talking about fairness, when you're talking about equity, when you're talking about fair play, one is talking about that which is good for you, it's also good for me. I read one book by Thomas Paine, a French author and philosopher. He said, look, any man who is not prepared to accord to his fellow man the same intellectual rights and privileges he claims to himself, such a man is brutal, is selfish, and is not worthy. What does it mean? He simply talks about equity and fairness. That's just the truth. It's like in Nigeria today. Look at the political power in Nigeria today. It has become a thing of it's our turn. Do you understand me? Yes, it can be your turn. But when you do that, do the job. It's not that it's your turn. And then you will not see any other person other than your own. Whereas Nigeria, the reality of Nigeria is that there are some ingredients you get in a human being in Sokoto. Do you understand me? You cannot get in any other part of Nigeria. There are some you get in the southwest, in Yoruba land, they will not get in any other parts. Same with Nigeria, same with the Kanuri, same with all parts of Nigeria. So Nigeria is not we are not succeeding in harmonizing, in harvesting these God-given potentials. It's like we are talking about protest or no protest. As a social affairs analyst, as a committed Nigerian, as a patriot to the glory of God, I've led the last 29 years of my life in this public societal service that I gave myself. No regrets. But the issue why is that the things I raised my voice over 20 years ago, 15 years ago, before my two very eyes, you see it happening. If we are talking about end bad governance, do we have bad governance in Nigeria? The answer is yes. Did it start with the Aswadi administration? The answer is no. Are the actors of both when it was working, before and now, are they the same? Or largely the same? And so they are not, political leadership is not making meaningful and commensurate progress. Otherwise, why is society collapsing? Something is wrong somewhere. That's something we are not connecting. And what does it call? It's not too much of blame, who did wrong, who did not do wrong. It's a matter of inward-looking approach, self-introspection. Say, look, even as a leader, as a follower, have I lived up to expectations? Let me put you on the box and same with all Nigerians. 95% of Nigerians have no regard for their national flag. That same flag, you want to see it flying. The Nigerian national flag makes no sense to you, to majority of Nigerians. Go to government offices and see the kind of tattered, torn out, worn flags. And I've been on top of my voice since we were registered in 2005, but we became mostly active from 2010. Nigeria 50 was our first major item in the Flag Foundation of Nigeria.
I want to ask you a question really that bothers me on this flag, but I'm told that we will have to go on a break, and I would ask the question afterwards. So we go on a break. Welcome back from that break, and I'm still speaking with Mr. Chris Agiri, very interesting name, I must say, and still on the flag. What is the actual specification for the Nigerian flag?
What do you mean by specification? Are you talking about size or?
Yes, the size, for instance, the big one. Should our flag be having coat of arms inside?
Well, the issue of flag. No, wow. I need prayers. So, does it mean that my efforts for the past 14 years is now gaining ground?
I don't know.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I've devoted quality time educating on this flag. And I tell you, it's high time we begin to honor it. As things as simple as that. Well, the green, white, green Nigerian national flag is governed by what I said earlier, Flag and Coat of Arms Ordinance 48 of September 16, 1960. And then now I think Cap F40 of laws of federation. You know, when the democracy came on, they tried to harmonize both the military decrees and all that. But so the green, white, green is simply green, white, green. And this green, white, green, the white could be what we call brilliant white, right? Then the green color is what one might call the emerald green. And there was a color code, British color code, that guided it as at that time, 1960. This is in terms of, you can see 5 Nigerians carrying national flag, the shades of the green and white are completely different. Now, that's why we're saying that's time for us to harmonize.
Maybe you need to do much more in that regard.
Okay, so, well, I am doing my best, just that the government people are so unwilling to hear from us, to collaborate with us. We are a non-governmental organization. It's constitutional. Non-governmental organizations do those things that government ought to be doing, which government cannot do. But the civil servants that run the operations of government see us as interfering. Whereas the Nigerian national flag is the only property that is jointly owned in equal capacity by all Nigerians, both Nigeria and the government. The green, white, green national flag is the only property. Nobody will stop you from carrying your national flag. The ownership right you claim to it is the same with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Same with Nigeria entity. That is why the state, if you are abusing the flag, the state is supposed to caution you, punish you if necessary. Right? It is that green, white, green, designed by Pataiwo Michael Akinkumi. Akinkumi, may his soul rest in peace. This is 1 year that he passed on. He's here to be buried. He's here to be buried. That man that bequeathed us that flag, though his original design had a red sun on the white shade, but the judges then said, deleted the red sun and still credited that to him. Because the red sun then was like sign of blood. The judges said our independence was fought by intellectual determination and will. There was Nigeria did not shed blood.
No anger.
No. Everything was. And then they had altogether 2,870 entries. 2,870 entries that submitted their what they call
entries.
The entries, different designs. But that was great to him. I mean, he had a price of £100, as at that time. He was a student studying under the Western Nigerian Scholarship. He was studying agric engineering at Nottingham College in England. And when I met him, I asked him what inspired him. He said then, Lagos was not as developed. Kenya was not as developed. When they took the airplane, when the plane that took it was sitting on the window seat, as the plane took off.
So green vegetation.
Yes, the only thing is, as you look down, there was you couldn't see houses or roads or any other thing. It was all green. Maybe this season, rainy season that we are now. And he looked up, it was a white sky. That was what. And those two colors are the best colors that nature accorded to man. White is a combination of all colors, symbol of peace and freedom, joy and happiness. You can't get it. When it's white, it's white. When it's tanned, it's tanned. That is it. It's a symbol of purity and righteousness. Then green itself is also the best color that nature before man. Now, 3 months ago, when there was winter in Europe, you will not see any green vegetation. Yeah. All the trees, be like say they don't die. But now, get overseas now, right? So look at the green. Look at the green this summertime. Look at how tranquil it is. Look at how, attractive. Look at how appealing. Look at how harmonious the green is anywhere you see. You like to sit on a green field. There's nobody that doesn't like it. And then any tree that is alive, you see green leaves on it. Any tree that is not alive, there won't be any green leaves on it. So green is also a symbol of hope, a symbol of life over death. Because it's green, life is coming back to it. There's life in it. It will yield. These are one of those underlying subconscious powers that guides Nigerians, that drives Nigerians. Nigerians are resilient people. Our people are resilient. It's only the political leadership that is failing Nigeria. Yeah. And that is just why I am praying that government should be more tactical in controlling the situation.
No, I would interrupt you there because I don't want us to keep praying.
Yes.
I want us to be serious and take action. So it takes
action woman.
So it takes me to this very question, really. Is government, those people in authority, does it look like they are ready to take serious action? I'm asking these questions because a lot of things we have seen as media persons, the public has seen and cried over them. You leave from point A to point B, 101 people are blowing sirens with multiple cars in their convoys, and we say there is no fuel. Where are they going to?
I beg. I don't want to talk government matter.
Oh, well,
I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I enter government, if I will be blowing siren like that.
If you blow siren in government, we will still call you and tell you.
But you know what?
Yes.
Could it be that their level of fear is increasing, that they want to seek protection, for themselves? Well, people in government, some of them, their positions are delicate.
We know the delicate ones.
You
can mention CBN,
yes,
FIS, NNPC.
You can imagine when you are investigating somebody that have taken 100 billion. You need some protection because they want to. I remember when the late Akunyele was fighting against fake drugs here. They attempted her life generally. But it's God that protects. Back to the issue. Since I was invited to NTA 24 hours after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was sworn in, as well as it was an agenda setting, and I solicited for support, irrespective of anybody's feelings about elections, and the elections are over. Here we have a president. First, I became a mouthpiece for the government. Look, I know, and most Nigerians know, that the last administration, by their style of governance, did Nigeria more harm than good. With due respect to President Muhammad Buhari, who presided over 8 years, and those that work with him, yes, some of them meant good, but they left Nigeria worse off. That's the truth of the matter.
But are we seeing any changes?
So as Aswaju came in, one expected that Aswaju and his team would have become more conscious of the state of the nation when they were taking over, and be able to come out with more ingenious, different strategies, creative ways, to be able to move the country forward. It's not that they are not moving forward, but the only thing is this, that government people, it may seem as if they are taking the people for granted. No, I don't think so. It's just that they are lacking the necessary know-how, the creative way of engaging the people. Or either they are not engaging at all. Engaging Nigerians, forget, the era is gone. When you look at on arrowheads, say this one is a political leader, you go settle them. Most of them have lost their relevance. Because the people are watching. The people are getting poorer. A hungry man is an angry man. That is the truth. All these things are reactionary things of people who are hungry. Government itself is not fast coming in strategies for communication, strategies to engage the people. We are expected, and so that's on one hand. There's also the issue of mistrust. Even when government actions, even when the motive behind government actions and statements and policies are well intended, meant for the people, oftentimes they are wrongly communicated or not even communicated at all. So how would they? And then when the people look around, they don't see any sign of hope. It's just that politicians that come and talk, some of them, in fact, I'm scoring them below average in strategy, in communication strategies, in coming out with ingenious ways of engaging the people. Because by and large, Nigerians have never seen it the way it is before. And the worst is that people were not prepared. People were not prepared. When things are turning around, you have a duty to engage your people. I say, make una see as things do, Pekin, the thing no be as it used to be before. So everybody begins to adjust. Everybody begins to work towards a certain purpose. Government must show this is the way we are headed to. This is where we are headed to. All hands being on deck, from the executive to the legislature to the judiciary, from the president to the governors to the local government employees, from the permanent secretary to the list clerk. I tell you the truth, the organized public sector, civil servants, with due respect to those Nigerians that are doing their best, they are not succeeding in mobilizing, properly mobilizing, sensitizing, accommodating the people, winning over the hearts of the people. So people are wallowing in darkness. People are wallowing in hopelessness. People are wallowing in rejection, because government is not getting them well. Handlers of government, and they're not really. I feel it because I am from the street. I'm maybe the street. This now. I don't make when lift me up. Say at this street, don't tire me. So you see, we have to, because our country, we face existential challenge, and we can only get out of it where all hands comes on deck. Government know how. I believe they are doing their best, but we need more honest people. We need more committed people. We need more people who are some kind of compassion. The government policies have the milk of human kindness. Do you understand? Because you see, somebody will chop, you will get big body now. If you chop and you are taking your weight, and if you chop for morning, for evening, if you never chop, it will be like say no chop. You see, what pains me is this, that I started crying 7 months ago when FRCN invited me over the increasing food inflation. We analyze it. People are not getting into the farms because of insecurity. Probably government efforts is not good enough. Do you understand me? To tackle those people that are, driving farmers away from their farmland. If they don't eat the soil and cultivate, they will not. You will not harvest the food to eat. It's not synthetic. Then you have the issue of headers, where things are planted. You see cows, hood of cows, walking to that places and eat them up. I mean, the problem is multifaceted. We must tell ourselves the truth. That look, we face this problem head on. There are also those who are saboteurs, enemies of Nigeria, some within and without. It's not news in the social media. There are those outside forces beyond Nigeria that are deliberately targeting the food baskets of the nation. What is the nation's security and intelligence community doing? I mean, it's time to speak up. Those who want to push one product or another want to make sure that our farmers will not plant. Our farmers don't go to the farm. And the greatest insecurity that can face any society, any nation, is food insecurity. The moment people have no food to eat, come on now, the beast in them, they'll become animals now. They become animals, and they are very high in number. So let us pray for government and for the president for those in government. Those in government, you guys should turn a new leaf to know, look, there's fire on the mountain. It's not about protests. Already, I pray that the protests don't hold. Already, the message has been sent.
What if it holds? Are we prepared for it?
Wait. Guys, when their eye they read. Do you understand me? Let me tell you, there are those, the act of food. If you go to protest, you will not go to scramble for food. You will not go to bank to take the break bank. You know, go collect money when not be your own. The ones on this low level are there. But so something must be done so that they can get something to eat.
They are the ones we all should be worried about.
They are the ones we should be all worried about. And they're already on the ground, you have nothing to lose. Do you understand me? All these ones, this one comes on air and say we are not bad. No. Another thing is that when the protest is over politicized and become this now, it doesn't. It doesn't. No. But the government have gotten the message. If they fail to learn, well, to their own period.
We're going to go on another break, but when we come back, I will need you to be talking to me about particularly cutting the cost of governance. We go on a break and we'll be back in a short moment. Great, thank you for hanging in there. Mr. Chris, I have this also a very interesting one over time. We saw it in the last dispensation of our administration, and we're seeing some element of it as well, that there's no synergy between the core civil servants in most MDAs and the appointees or elected representatives coming in. I'm asking this question because most of them come in with so many aides, so many advisors, and what do you call it? They are all over the place, consultants who come and practically lord over the civil servants who have been there for many years. Is that costing us? Is that part of the problems we are having? Because will these core civil servants actually call your attention when you're making mistakes, when you don't deal with them?
Okay, you see, when President Bola Tinubu visited India, visited Turkey, where he was getting endorsements of those that are coming to, the Indian listen said they are coming to invest about 14 billion. I think he went to UAE and all that. NTA invited me to talk about these things. When the president told them in India that Nigeria is ready for business. Yes. I said, look, the finance minister went to Morocco that time. I've forgotten the actual date. And they invited me to discuss these things.
For the annual meetings last year.
Yes. And I said, as the president is the #1 marketing officer of Nigeria, and he has given them their award, and the executive orders are there, and ease of doing business. I said, look, are the bureaucracy of government ready? The presenter didn't like my response. Are the bureaucracy of government ready? To what extent are they ready to fast-track simple, approvals you need from different offices? The average civil servant, with due respect to those, some of them, lacks a sense of urgency. So let me also say, It's a race against time. Whether you're a civil servant and you, because there are laws now, without them you can't go anything, or you're a political appointee, whatever be that you want, it can only be in a stable Nigeria. I'm telling you the truth. Don't forget how people have made themselves as semi-gods. Like you said, when the political appointees and the called civil servants are working across purposes, when there's no singleness of purpose, what are we going to achieve? The political appointee comes with its own barrage of aides. Some of them don't have the technical know-how. And then that synergy that's supposed to, work between them as civil servants, it doesn't match. That is why the civil servants themselves slows things down. It slows things down, and just because the commander-in-chief should show more leadership, as simple as that. Let us work on, we have a crisis situation. The certain laid down procedures, timeline.
Talking timelines, yes. Do you think it's time for another cabinet reshuffle, Of
course, yes. Government is overdue to reshuffle. It's not about politics. There are some ministers, some heads of agencies that were appointed that don't even know why they are there. With due respect to them now. The worst is even bringing non-professionals to a field that they know little or nothing about. Appointing to people in areas where they don't have the capacity, the creative capacity to turn things around. And then the civil servant will say, after their own, they be soldier good, soldier come, barack remain. Oftentimes, they don't even know that you are hurting yourself. This is when we talk about patriotism. By being patriotic, you are not doing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a favor. By being patriotic, you are not doing the governor a favor. By being patriotic, giving information to the security men, you are not doing them a favor. You are only doing yourself a favor. You are the #1 beneficiary of your patriotic acts, conduct, and behavior, your patriotic lifestyle, which means simply doing things right, in line with the laws and accepted norms and values and virtues that guides a society.
But our people are afraid of giving information to the security officers. That is matter
for another day. It has always been there, but then, after all, somebody must die. Something must kill a man. Give out of your conscience. Do that which is expected of you, which is required of you as a free citizen. By so doing, you are contributing. By so doing, you are helping. It's like when you don't cooperate with the armed forces. When you hear gas now, you go call army, you go call police. How many are there that have been paying the supreme price every day? Cooperate with them, you ignore them. Come on. There should be the kind of revolution we need. It's revolutionary thought, revolutionary ideology. Simply doing things the way it ought to be done. Wherever you are, I was talking to your staffs here, and that is little way. Don't be so overwhelmed by phone when you're on duty. As I came in, probably because I was coming from army headquarters, there's no doorman. I was busy dishing orders, because some of them were not as, up and doing. That's the problem we have with young people now. The enough of blames. Let all hands come on deck. Please, if you're a minister, if you're a politician, let us know that, look, Nigeria of yesterday is not Nigeria of today. We can't continue to do things this way. We can't survive it as a people. And I've always said it. History bears me witness. There's no human society. There's no kingdom. There's no empire. There's no organization, individually and collectively, that do things we do in Nigeria, both as a government employee, as an individual citizen that survives it. No. Well, don't see where would they go now? Just suppose Nigeria 20 years ago.
We've survived this
15 years ago.
We've survived this for some years now.
10 years ago.
So which do we end now? Which is our priority? Is it to end bad governance or end hunger?
So there are both bad governance and hunger. It's a gradual thing. You say, look, we have to reason with government. Government, please be honest with the people. You are there. Protection of life and property is #1. And lo and behold, these things are failing. We're not saying crucify them. Please, government people, we in the civil society, for me, it's a job I give to myself, you know, over this society as a philosopher. Communicate to us. Let us work together. Let the people come on board. Let them know what is expected of them. Nigerians, it's only Nigerians that can save Nigeria. No matter what you say, what you think about Nigeria, you know, the issue is that we are lacking in galvanization. That is one program we are coming up with that's expected to galvanize Nigerians. From that your little corner, you are part of humanity. You are part of Nigerian society. There's no other place you are going to run to other than here. That is justice. So, and the killings must stop. Must stop killing ourselves. You know, that is why I call them, I've been saying it. One thing that every Nigerian must come on board is the issue of kidnapping. Nigeria is disgracing the world. At this level of human civilization, with all the efforts that we made, now I'm targeting you. They will target your fellow human being, your brother, your sister. Put him at the boot of the vehicle. Go and hide him and be trading with him. A society have come to this point we are trading with human beings as commodity for the purposes of collecting money. No. The government and the people of Nigeria must rise up against anything from any form of kidnapping. What would the world say? We suffered 400 years of slavery. And then we're talking about reparation. But here now, everybody is afraid of being kidnapped. No. No matter how hard it is, please, my brother, no matter your hunger, don't go into the area of kidnapping. Otherwise, the Nigerian society must overcome them. Do you understand me?
In overcoming them now, we've heard security agencies say that they have information about people sponsoring or showing support for protest. What is happening to gathering information about these people who are kidnapping all over the place?
That is
why are we not seeing, I mean, if we are seeing that there's decisive action being taken about their activities and they themselves with speedy justice dispensation, will that help?
Yeah, well, you see, when it comes to the issue of security agencies, I'm always very careful. These guys, what they go through. Honestly, these ones in the army and the police, the DSS, all the rest of them, they are the true Nigerians. Forget the bad eggs in them. And all the bad eggs in them, sooner than later, will meet their Waterloo. That's the truth. These guys work under serious, hard conditions. And they are human beings. Our security agencies are not under any special form of salary or allowance. They are being killed every day.
That's too bad.
Their families, you know. So it's not, look, we're getting it wrong. We're getting it wrong. If there's anything that must be made strong and functional, is within the security agencies. The police, the army, all of them. Do you understand me? And anybody, all the bad eggs among them, do you understand me, must be treated in accordance with their code. They court martial, they don't look at your face. In the case of military, I know at a point when they were in the ECOMOG, certain things happened, and at the end of the day, they tried them, and they executed them. So they have more propensity to apply by the rules because they know what is the punishment. Without our express support, they cannot perform. Our security agencies are still underfunded. Their morale is very low, whereas money is being spent on other things. So it's time for us to wake up. A lot of people are shying away from joining the army. I know a section of the country, they are not ever meeting up their own quota. Do you understand me? Who will defend the country for you? You are in a community. You have up to 200 young people that can enlist in service. Your 20 is coming up. In the day of crisis, who will defend you? Since Nigerians are shying away from joining the armed forces and the military distance, who will defend the country for them? Why is it? Because the job is not enticing. Do you understand me? They just go. May God bless their soul. May God be with our security agencies. Mm-hmm. They work under very serious, and if anything happens, people will come on television and be talking about what are the security agencies. What is their funding even? their funding like. You see, and we should pray for them. We should cooperate with them. We should give them information. We'll say, police not be spirit, information. What he does with it, he will use his own life to pay, or he will get his reward. Ours is to give them that information and be able to support them. At a point in Medugri, JTF, the civilian JTF, were voluntarily, young men, volunteerism. I was starting this one, so I said, look, this one where they here, they made smessmen. When the chips are done, you'll be conscripted and be put into the army. Now your papa will come fight them. We don't get society to get into that angle. So there should be, the president should read the Riot Act and lead by example. All his appointees must lead by example. We must control our appetite and the degree of greed and consumption. You must know that what is good for you is also good for this thing. An Igbo man have an adage,
translate.
All those are where they live for, face me and face you yard. You know, so they share one small common kitchen. So every day, now you go take better crayfish and then onion, the fry stew. Yeah, the aroma of your stew. The other stuff will saturate the whole house, the whole compound. The other ones now, so, you know, they bring this now, envy now. Not you tell and make you know get the this, you know.
But so don't finish their nose with yourself.
Oh, yes. So please, we share humanity. We are brothers and sisters. Whether you are from the east, from the west, from the north, from the south, even religion. I studied philosophy of religion, Islam. You know, the differences, the dialogue, the similarities between Christianity and Islam. It's all one and same. So religion should not be a problem to us. But here, we have fundamentalists. Fundamentalists. You have, what is Boko Haram talking about? What is ISWAP talking about? What is Al-Qaeda talking about? What is ISIS talking about? They're all here. Because the Sahel region is not there. They are pushing the extremist religious ideology that are less accommodating to other this. Whereas we Africans, we have the same fanaticism in some Christian institutions too, religious beliefs, you know. Whereas we Africans, the two religions, Islam and Christianity, came from the Middle somewhere. East. Arab Eurocentric religion that brought Christianity, and the Asiatic Arab religion that brought Islam here. We are brothers and sisters, and two religions point the same thing. The belief system is virtually the same. Forget the mode of worship. Let us stop politicizing it. Let us accommodate one another. The issue of money, but don't mind politicians. So when it comes to sharing money,
they don't remember
that one. It's not that they want to use it and they listen, you know. And then all the political leaders who they are running their mouths, making all forms of inflammatory comments. It's not going to do anybody any good. It's not going to be anybody any good. I had some people, some boys, group of people come on television. Yes, just arrived this afternoon. I've forgotten his name. You know, one of the supporters of APC coming to say that the P2B and Atiku supporters are the one fueling and all these things. No. They should please stop politicizing this. It's not yet time for politics. They should stop politicizing this. Nigerians face a common challenge of lack, of hunger. Do you understand me? Yes, in as much as I disagree with some of President Tinubu's policies, which we believe I personally believe that these are IMF, World Bank policies. No matter how they paint it, history has shown that it has never worked as intended. But it's presented and you are pressured to buy into it. Look at where we are. Okay, here we are. We must not give up now. We just have to buckle all hands on deck, you know, fold your trousers, fold your sleeves, and then look at it. And then government should please show the way, and then engage the people, communicate with people. Not all these ones, this group will come, we're not part of this one, this will come. Come on, for God's sake. This is not what we need at this time. What we need is a cooperation with the government, you know, a government first and foremost telling this is where we are, this is how things are. Now when you call this one group, whether they settle or not, I don't know, but that's by the way. Yeah, those things irritates people because the issue of protest too is enshrined in the Constitution. It's a fundamental human right. Section 39 and 40. 39 of the Constitution talks about freedom of speech. The other one, 40, talks about freedom of association. Also, there is the 45 that also says that you have freedom. You understand? It's not absolute. Yes, of course. So when you get a certain, the state as it is has also a right to maintain law and order. So whichever way you belong, just know there are laws. If you cross the red line, the state must be able to, assert itself. I don't believe that non-state actors should not be directing Nigeria. Look at what goes on the Sit at Home on Mondays, for whatsoever reason. It has impoverished my people, the Igbo people, more. No matter what you think about it. At least, as a boy below the age of 10 during the Civil War, I saw all those things. So, and when people are looking at war, look, as a philosopher and as a history student, I've studied the evolution of society. These are areas of interest. And that is why I'm always very careful on how we go about doing things. Because a little mistake, a society may just derail and it will be catastrophic.
All righty, thank you.
It won't happen to us.
It will not happen. We'll join and pray as you have been soliciting for prayer. Thank you, Mr. Chris, for coming on the program. And thank you, Nigerians. Top Talk returns same time next week. My name is Leah Katung Babatunde. Enjoy the rest of your week.